All right, welcome back to another tutorial, everyone. This is AP Media. So today I'll be doing a quick breakdown on how I was able to create this design. Okay, I'll be explaining the things I did. I'll be showing you the layers, and I'll be doing a general breakdown of this design. So I'm currently using Adobe Photoshop CC, that is Creative Cloud 2021. All right, so if you have the 2021 version or any higher version, this tutorial is going to apply to you. But like I always say, if you have a lesser version, say CS6, CC19 and lesser versions, some of the things that I will be mentioning in this tutorial may not apply on your own Photoshop. Okay, so I'm currently using Adobe Photoshop 2021, and you can use 2022, 23 to what we currently have, and it will still apply to you. Okay, so if this is the first time you're coming across my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and like this video. If you have any question for me, you can drop it in the comment section of this video. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Now the first thing I did was to create an artboard. Okay, you can see that the name of this design is 12-hour prayer charge, right? Is directly on top of the design. So you can see 12-hour prayer charge here. That's because this design was created on an artboard. So how do we create an artboard? You simply come to your file. Okay, so from your file you click on new. The shortcut key is Ctrl+N. Okay, now from here I'm going to set my width to 1080 and I'll set my height to 1350. I'll leave my resolution at 150 pixels. Then I'm going to select artboards. Okay, I'm going to select artboards and I'll leave the color at white. So I can now click on create for me to create the artboard. Now you can now see that it has given it a name here. We have artboard 1. So from your artboard 1, you can double click on it and then give it any name of your choice. Maybe you want to give it the name of your project. Let's, for this example, write 12-hour prayer charge. Okay, so now you can see that it has changed to 12-hour prayer charge. Okay, so you can duplicate your artboard. You can do a number of things to your artboard and then give them specific names as you would wish. Okay, so let's go back to this design. Now, like I always do on my channel here, for designs like this, I'm going to turn off all the layers, right? I will off all the layers and then I'll review the layers one after the other, and I'll explain the concept of the things, the concepts behind the things I did in the layers. Okay, so I'm turning off the layers right now. You can see that it's applying to the elements we have in the design already. All right, so we have them like this. Let's see. Okay, so okay, now the background is white, right? Although you can change your background to any color from your artboard settings. Okay, but the initial background was white, so I drew a rectangle. That was the first thing I did. I drew a rectangle to just add to get a plain black background. So that was this rectangle that we have in this place. So, and I always like to lock my layers that I don't need. I like to lock them and keep them out of sight. So next thing was this image. Now let's take a look at this image. I apply motion blur. Yeah, I apply motion blur on this image. So this is how the image looked like. I think I even dragged the image. All right, it's like an image of a tunnel, or yeah, a tunnel, like light at the end of the tunnel, kind of. So it's like that kind of image. So I dragged the image a little and I applied motion blur on the image. So that was why we were able to get it like this. So let's look at the next thing I did. Now you can see that at the end of that tunnel is bright. Right, so I just did, when I started placing elements on it, some of my elements were not coming out the way I wanted again. So I used this brush to just darken that part a little so that the light from that side will not be so visible. Okay, so after that I now added this element. Now the blend mode, the current blend mode is color dodge. So let's see, color dodge and 30% opacity. Let me also remove the layer mask so that we see. So I got this other image. Okay, so I got this other image and I added layer mask, I brushed it off, and I reduced the opacity to 30%, and I changed the blend mode to color dodge. So this this kind of blend the image with the background. All right, so that was what I did at that part, and I added some fire sparks, like some fire drops on this particular one. So that was what I did here. Look at this is the actual fire image. So I changed the blend mode to screen. Of course, screen will hide the black part and reveal the lighter part in a particular image. So that was what I did. And okay, I added this rectangle here. This is to pop the background, right? I've explained this in one of my previous videos, or one of my videos. Yeah, so this particular rectangle was a noise effect that I used to sharpen the background. Okay, so that was that element that I did there. Then from here, now this was where I started adding my text. Okay, now look at a part of the theme, Chariots of Fire. Yeah, so let me explain the things I did here. Okay, let me explain the things I did here. Let me off this one. So this is the theme, Chariots of Fire. Now I converted it to a smart object, of course. I think 2 smart objects even. Yes, there is a smart object in the smart object. So this is the first smart object. You can see Chariots of Fire. So this first one is just straight. Okay, so I now converted this one to smart object, and I added color to it, color overlay, and I used warp. Okay, so it was warp I used to get this bulging effect from this one. So I now transform it to this Chariot of Fire. And should I save? Let me save, because I didn't apply any change to it actually. So that was how I got this one. I now changed the blend mode to color dodge. Okay, so it was the color dodge that creates that blend between the background and the element. So the background it has that texture and that gradient feel from the text to the theme. Okay, now so that was what I did there, and it was as though it was not enough. That effect, okay, it's looking as if the effect is too much. Okay, the blend is too much, so I duplicated the theme there. That is the second one we have at the bottom, and I added this one. Okay, so this one is I think there's a blur. Okay, I already rasterized this image here, so I can't recover the particular smart filter that I did there. So I had to add this layer mask to it, because when I added this effect, it was blowing up to this side. So I added this layer mask so that I'm brushed off the upper part from that end. Okay, so that was what I did with the theme. I hope you really understand. So if you have any further question about the theme, you can drop it in the comment section. I would answer, but because I actually did a number of things there. Okay, I did a number of things. So that was the theme, and I have this theme here. So you can see the curve, right? The bulging effect with the way the space where I added the theme there. So it created some sort of balance for me that I really like. So this is the picture of my ministers, right? This is the dear picture of my ministers. Now I grouped everything is in a group. Okay, everything is in a group. Okay, yeah. So arranging pictures like this can be very challenging, because most times pictures don't come with the same form. Like, you don't get to see pictures on the same form. So what I usually do sometimes is to use my rulers. Okay, so I activate my ruler and I set my ruler. I make sure that the head region on the images are almost at the same size or at the same size. Okay, because some pictures are short. Like now, if you look at this picture, the fourth person, right, the distance is short, and this other one too, the first image is quite long. Okay, so these are the disparities in images that we usually have, but you have to be very discreet and professional about it. So I was able to arrange my ministers like this, and I went further by adding a rectangle at the front. Okay, so these are the two rectangles I added at the front. So with this rectangle now, you can see that the legs are quite hidden from the image. So the rough parts, they are not obvious to the eye. So we have something that is very good at this side of the design. Okay, and let's see. So I now started adding my other information. Okay, these are the names of the ministers. Okay, these are the names of the ministers here. Okay, so these are the names of the ministers, and we have the details of the program. So the program is happening on the 20th of December 2025 at RCCG Parish and all of that, the time and also okay, this header, what's this? Okay, so these are the logos. Okay, these are the logos on the image. That was what I placed there. And there's this noise effect, there's this levels. Okay, so these levels, I'll talk about these levels because this noise effect, if you've been following my tutorials, I usually use it a lot, and I usually explain the concept of the noise effect. Okay, so these levels is an adjustment layer. Okay, so from under your layers, right, you're going to see FX. So from FX, no, not FX. After FX, you see layer mask icon, and you see this. So this is your adjustment layer. So from your adjustment layer, you are going to see a number of things. You see levels, you see curves, exposure, vibrance, color lookup, invert, all of this. Okay, so I used what's it called? I used levels on this one. Okay, so what I did with levels under my properties, right, was to add some darkness. Look at it. To darken the ambience, to darken the overall design a little bit, because it was quite bright for the kind of picture that I was having in mind. So I just used these levels to add that generally on the design. Okay, so that was what I did with levels there and with the noise effect. Okay, so this is going to bring me to the end of this tutorial. All right, so if you found this helpful, kindly like this video. Okay, and you can share this video with your friends, share it with somebody who is trying to learn design or who is trying to upscale their graphic design skill. All right, so like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet. Okay, and till I come your way again, I am AP Media. Bye for now.